not. 10 seconds left in the 6 o'clock before it ticked over to 6:01. So we will see what everybody's up to here in a minute. We got some beautiful coral. We have the beautiful Scott Pond designed overlay.
I know. I do love
great.
it. It's so nice. And I don't know if that was you guys together or Scott Pond who decided to make it established 2005 so we don't have to change it every year. 15,
that was
16,
my idea.
17.
My
It's
idea,
wonderful.
Scott's implementation. He tried a couple of different things, but I still have to do something with the SIGLERinPLACE screen, that little part in the middle. That one's me. I tried to make that, transparent and fancy, because that's how we are in this world. We're transparent and we are fancy, but I'll probably like to fix that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from vacation. Good evening, Matt McRoberts, Sean Dyer, Daryl Harris, Nelson McClintock, Tracy, Mike, Genelia. Oh my God, it's going so fast. Daniel Baker, Dr. Daniel Baker,
Hey,
PhD.
Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD.
Steve Rickyberg, first in the house.
Hey,
Don
Iceberg.
Shipley. I was listening to Steve Rickyberg work earlier today.
I
And I
know.
was proofing.
You know what?
proofing the stone walls.
I was
Yeah.
supposed
Hello,
to tell
Jane.
him that you were going to mess with the master file, and I don't
You
think I
didn't.
did.
You didn't.
Iceberg, I'm sorry about that.
Hi, Robin. Both of the Siglers have been fairly scatterbrained as of late. We needed the vacation to deal with the scatterbraining, and then apparently I got scatterbrained more. And so did she a little bit too.
Yeah, exactly.
You ready to go to main camera,
I
sweetheart?
sure am.
3, 2, 1. Hello, we have missed your faces. Even though we
sure
can't
did.
see your faces, we know what you look like mostly, and we missed you. You are great. First of all, babe, let's tell them what we're wearing.
Okay, so you guys, I'm always telling you guys that Scott will do Zoom into a classroom and speak to your students or your children in there, and we did that back, I think, in January with Oak Prairie, the Oak Prairie Bulldogs. Oh, yeah, there in Aurora, Illinois. Kyle Jacobson, sorry. Was the contact, and he wait, I wonder if I'll look up. I might be wrong about the last name. However, he had us talk to the classroom. The principal joined. It was interactive. It was super fun. They're the Bulldogs, and today we received. They had sent us a care package, but with the pandemic, it went kind of hog wild. So I expected all good, and today a new care package showed up, and it's got all these cool fun
this
things.
officially Sigler's Gone Wild. When things go wrong. Things wrong with the care package. Sigler's Gone Wild. What do you got, baby?
I mean, you can tell, if you know me, I don't want to move my microphone, so there it is. If you know me, you know I don't like boobvertising.
Doesn't like boobvertising.
I do not like, mostly I just like black is what I like, but I don't like stuff on my shirt like this. And we got these today, and he said, you don't like boobvertising. I was like, yeah, but I love the Bulldogs, so I'm wearing this shirt.
Go Bulldogs.
So here we go. It was really fun. Thank you so much, Kai. We also got this 3D printed thing. Their motto is "Stronger Together," and so that's a motto from their school. Yeah, it's really cool. This is a thank
Let me switch
you.
it. You go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do
up. There you
this.
go.
That's a thank you.
I hope that's a TARDIS.
Well,
Is that a TARDIS
I
in
think
the
it
middle?
might be a TARDIS, and
Okay.
it's crazy because I don't know. Yeah, it has to be a TARDIS. Sorry. And here's the Prairie Bulldogs. Yeah, and I don't know if they knew that I'm a really big Doctor Who fan, so that was pretty fun. And then this is the best part. Well, the second best part.
What?
Ian Athkraken's logo.
And that's 3D and tactile and all that
Yeah,
other
it all
stuff.
is.
It's great.
And I'm not sure if you might not be able to read it, but you see that there's printing
I'll-
in there.
Well, try it up here.
The printing
they can see it.
is specific for Scott and I. It's so cool. It's such a special thing that we don't expect, and we are just trying to help you guys and didn't necessarily expect any of this.
Right.
And then my other favorite thing, which I think they probably gave to students too, are Bulldog masks.
Bulldogs.
Which is really fun because you can always have school spirit if you have them at school, which I really, really like.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so cute. No, you gotta cover the chin.
Yes.
There you
Protect
go.
me from the COVID. Yes.
Yes. So
Okay.
thank you,
I'll take
Kyle, and the Oak Prairie
Thank you, Kyle.
Bulldogs. That
Thank
was so
you.
nice
Go
of you.
Bulldogs.
If you
And do you want
guys,
to show them the bags real quick?
yeah.
Then we'll be out. Then we'll be out.
you do that. If you guys listening and watching,
we got some. Now I'm so old that I have no idea how these things are supposed to. I literally
I know how
they're
they
supposed
work.
to
I just don't know if they're called
I used
something
to
other
carry,
than backpacks.
I used to carry so many backpacks, so many books, like not only my school books, but a bunch of other books too, that this would have literally cut off my arms. 60 pounds of books with this thing. I think it's a weapon. I think it's ninja school. That's what I think it is.
You're probably Ninja School.
It's ninja school.
So Kyle and the Oak Prairie Bulldogs, thank you guys so much. If you guys are looking at this and you're like, oh, I didn't know they talked to schools. Scott will Zoom into a classroom. Yes, he will.
I'll do it.
You do not none of all of this gorgeousness is required. We're just trying to help you out in this crazy time. So just if you have a student, Mario, if you are in the chat room, I am chatting with the one you referred, and we're going to get that done.
I do it because we must reach these kids.
Yeah, and kids can be the one that I just mentioned is a first grade class, and we figured out how to talk to the first grade class, and it can be college aged kids, and it can be high school aged kids.
I'm gonna have to work on that.
No, it's easy.
This mouth is not well suited for first grade kids.
Well, they already know because they've watched SIGLERinPLACE before.
Oh,
but what we're gonna do is Scott is gonna read the story he wrote in the third grade.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, and they're going to ask. They have it in advance.
That's
and
dope.
they're starting to talk about what
Danny
tentacles
Baker was
are
in that
and
class
stuff like
with me.
that.
That was our third grade class. Mrs. Edwards, I think it was. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really exciting. So if you guys have interest in having Scott speak to any sort of classroom or library group or things like that, or a book club, email us at info@empty.
Dr. Daniel Baker says, when I was carrying books around in high school, penthouse mags are not
count.
so much as the books, which he mentions as I'm trying to get my head around talking to a first grade class. So thank you. Thank you, Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD. I appreciate that very much.
So this is a catch-up kind of an episode, obviously a little sort of loose and rolling along. It's a little hot in this room, so you can see me fanning myself. We're going to do SIGLErabrations. We got, oh my gosh, so many. We are also going to do pup dates and junkie pics and talk a little bit about where the books, the GFL 7 and the Gangster, where he is with his book, Gangster GFL Book, and where I am with
and
your
Penthouse
GFL
had very
books.
good articles. All of you in the chat room are a bunch of bunk. It's a bunch of bunk. Excellent journalism in Penthouse.
So I do have to say, we went away. You guys all know this. I have now heard this from like 3 of my very good friends. We went away and kind of fell off the face of the earth, is what I've heard.
Very little social medias.
Yeah, from both of us, which is quite rare. And I guess, I thought about it. I saw my dear friend Amy, who you guys know as the goddamn dog sitter, this afternoon. And and she, I have to say this, I have to interrupt my little story to tell you, I love this LaCroix. This is not any kind of an advertisement or anything. This is I think it's blackberry cucumber. And once a long time ago, we were talking about are any of the 0-calorie flavored waters tasty? And I mentioned that. And today I saw her and she said, "Oh, I got a thing for you." And she gave me a big case of it. And it was just so touching to
Maria.
feel like we
that
were
is
missing
nice.
whatever. It was so nice. So,
I often say I've got a thing for you, and it's not. Mine is.
She also gave you something.
Oh, nice. What'd I get?
She made this for you for your cocktails.
Oh, for my cocktails.
Show it up close.
Check it out. It is that is a skull. I don't know how. I turned off the autofocus, and now it bites me in the ass.
It's a skull wearing headphones.
Hello, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm going to kill all of you. Okay, there we go.
So we came home to so many treats. It's terrific. And let's see what else. So I was going to tell you, we went on this road trip, and everybody was like, "Are you guys okay?" So we had a couple things. Scott was writing because he wanted to keep pace on GFL 7, and I think the other thing is we had a lot of questions about why we ended up going on our honeymoon to visit with a couple of a group of friends, a small group of friends. And people were like, why would you go on a honeymoon to hang out with other people? And if you think about it for just a minute, you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
We spent our entire first year alone together. So appropriately, the honeymoon was with a group of friends. And it was super terrific. And I think I might have had a little bit of executive function overload. So I was hanging out with my friends who I haven't seen in a year, and we were attempting to do things like grocery shop and go out and eat on a patio. And I had a couple of family members. You guys know my mom was ill, and she's out of the hospital now, but went back into the hospital. And then my sister-in-law had surgery on Monday. So there was a lot of stress that we were trying to kind of decompress from. But yes, you guys are right. Nothing went wrong, and we were just a little overwhelmed, so we didn't do a lot of social media. So sorry about that.
Interrupt for just a moment. Bruce Press said, "This skull with the headphones, this looks like Scott Sigler on a stick. It really does.
It totally does. Let's see.
There we
Does
go.
this help if I do this?
Yes, that. Now move your hand. It's exactly. That's. I hadn't noticed. That's friggin' fabulous.
It's good.
Frickin' fabulous.
All right, so let's see.
So we've got, you've got.
Well, I do have to tell folks about today is International Coral Triangle Day, which is technically Coral Triangle is only in the Solomon, sort of at the Solomon Islands. So
that's some coral right there, guys.
This is Coral Triangle Day. It is meant to bring attention, held every June 9th, to the massive celebration of the Coral Triangle, the world's epicenter of marine biodiversity.
Yep.
It encompasses the six seas of 6 countries in the Asian Pacific region: Indonesia, Malaysia, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines, Solomon Islands, and Timor. We chose this because Scott is associated with triangles for sure, and coral is associated with orange, which is associated with Scott.
There you go.
That's how we chose this day.
It's a helpful thing. It's a beautiful.
I've told you about the coral. I've told you about the Coral Triangle, and now we're going to eat orange triangular food.
Yes. Because we win Emmys, and people who win Emmys, ABEOC, always be eating on camera. What do we got here?
We got a lot of triangle-shaped food. We have our orange triangle-shaped food. We have triangle-shaped...
Got to save that chicken. We got some stuff coming up.
We have triangle-shaped carrots.
We got triangle-shaped cheese.
And then we have...
all you cheeseheads are upset about Aaron Rodgers, but here's your cheesehead for you.
We have these triangles, which are beige, not orange. But
What?
We have an orange dip. And... Oh, can you move this while you're eating and crunching? Here we go. And we have a sponsor that we're going to, I guess we're going to talk about now because we've been having so much fun. And it's a hot sauce, and there are 3 orange ones. So I'm going to bring those out to you.
All right. Our sponsor today, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a sponsor, we actually get paid for the sponsor. We're very excited.
The first time on this show ever.
They are actually sponsoring the podcast. So the Scott Sigler Audiobooks podcast and Story Smack. But once I mowed down on this stuff, I was so pumped. I'm like, you know what? I'm a giver. It's what I do. I give back all the time. Let's put them on SIGLERinPLACE. Plus, I get to eat hot sauce while you guys watch, which is how we win Emmys. So this stuff is fantastic. So far, we've gotten through Red Habanero, gotten through Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been telling me that pineapple habanero apparently is the Jimmy Jam. I've had 4 people in the comments on Facebook say they love this. Poirier's Louisiana style. Oh, we do have it?
Yeah. Do you want to try?
Bust it out, son. Bust it out. And then we've got Poirier, the UFC fan favorite, Dustin Poirier, who'll be fighting for a title soon after he makes all his ducats from the Conor McGregor fight if he wins. And now available in Canada, which is weird since they are from Ontario. But you guys can check all this out. Obviously, that you are.
What's the Poirier reference?
It's he's the MMA guy. He beat McGregor.
No, I know who he is. They
made a hot sauce for Dustin Poirier because he's from Louisiana. He is from New Orleans. I think not
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Lafayette, Louisiana. He's a big homeboy there, and of course, if you live in Louisiana, it's legally required that you like hot sauce. So they made his own hot sauce, Louisiana style, and I can't wait to have that. It's gonna be fun. Are you looking for the cover?
No, I'm looking to see if there's mango while you talked about.
Oh shoot!
Things.
Okay, so that is that. So now again, write that code down. If you guys like this stuff, go code Sigler, save 20%. Normally, we make a cut off of sales of stuff with our code. This time, we do not. So you just go use it at will. We just want to share. I've been really... Is this it?
Yep.
Okay,
and
so
you probably didn't need some more, but you needed to see if it was too hot first. I can't believe we eat on this cast every week.
I'm pretty sure anything called pineapple habanero is not going to be hot at all. So let's dose that amount. I'm not paying the $1. Let's dose that bad boy. Slap it up, flip it, rub it down.
Oh, no.
Ooh, that is good.
I'm sort of jumping around a little bit because we are live.
Where the fuck is my second bell, Kelly? All right.
Do you want to give us an update on the gangster?
Yes.
Oh, no. Gangster is me.
Gangsters, while she's doing the update on the gangster, what we're going to do for your entertainment is I'm going to heavily load up. Did you bring the Scorpion, sweetie?
I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. I didn't, but I did.
So this is the Heatness number 4 is very good.
Scorpion.
Scorpion Red Habanero so far is my fave. It's great. It's a little hot. The Scorpion, I believe, is the one that has been on the Hot Ones show. So this, for your entertainment, I'm not going to go full Jackass for this show. I'm also not going to go full Hot Ones. I don't need an 82,000 Scoville. I don't even know how Scoville works. But here we go. Here is their hottest sauce, El Scorpion.
Oh, Lord. This is... I have to stay in the underground there with him all night.
It's going to be Toot Central, ladies and gentlemen. There's... Back away from my... Ooh, I just rubbed it on my upper lip by mistake, went to lick my finger, and it burns my upper lip. So that's not a good sign.
Are you going to be teary-eyed?
I will be later when this goes through my system.
Yeah. So you guys, the Gangster is finally underway. We are actively through pre-flight and printing the Gangster. There's a little hiccup, but it's not that big of a deal. There's been a little bit of trouble due to the pandemic sourcing paper. So we had a little bit of a delay, about a week delay, while they sourced the paper to print our books because we want the books to all look the same, so we needed the same paper weight and whatever. That said, actively printing. I am getting together plans to start to ship. And I think, whoa, Lord, did you have too much?
I'm starting to sweat a little bit. You can I? What is your drink? That seems to have more fluid in it. Oh, the stuff I made fun of. I'm like, can I have some of that now? And it does taste like ass. That's fine.
So if you guys have sent in emails saying, hey, I didn't get my ebook. Hey, I have to change my address. Hey, I'm not sure I ordered. I don't have all that stuff. Don't worry. I took the vacation, the honeymoon off, but I am back to doing that. We have about 1,700 books sold, and it's very likely there are multiple issues since it took us so long to ship it to you. So don't worry that I didn't send it to you. Don't worry that you haven't heard back from me. You will hear several things. When I address your issue, you will hear from me directly with a return email, and then you'll have like a couple of weeks warning where I say, hey, I think I have solved every Gangster problem. If you haven't heard from me, please email me again. I have lost that. I'm sorry. So don't worry if you haven't heard back. We are on track to get you the Gangster sometime this summer, and I can't even believe it, so I'm only going to say it that once.
Yeah.
How about GFL 7?
Excited.
Are you still eating it?
Well, you have to eat it. I'm not going to let this go to waste. It's not how we do things in Sheboygan. All right.
Robbie said, hey, no one is listening to you. We're all watching Scott's.
I am writing a book. It's called The Gangster. No.
No.
It's called GFL.
No. Oh, I thought you were going to say what it was.
It's called GFL Book 7. And it is not as hot as this hot sauce. But it's gosh darn hot, ladies and gentlemen. It is a hot book full of hot scenes and a lot of spices. There are many chapters about peppers and capsaicin, and also forehead sweat. There are many chapters about forehead sweat and trying to find dairy.
How many words you're done?
Oh, I'm probably about 70,000 words right now.
70,000.
So soon I will be halfway through.
Dudes, I know you can tell he's uncomfortable. He's literally pouring sweat down his side here.
Yes, Sean Dyer. It's thank you. I must dab my forehead. It's so hot here in Savannah in the summer. Oh,
why? Why?
It's delicious. It's delicious.
Scott Pond is in the house.
All right, you know
Scott Pond, I'm so sorry. He emailed me today and he's like, oh, hey.
Doubling down. Let's do it again.
Did you send me the wrong information 6 months ago? And I was like, oh, I absolutely did. Can you please redo all that? I'm so sorry, Pondy. I really appreciate your very gracious way to email me and say, did you make me do all that work for nothing? I did. I'm sorry.
All right, let's get on with this. So, the GFL Book 7, I did not get as much done on vacation as I had hoped. But
you got exactly what you hoped. That's exactly where you wanted to be. You always move the goalposts.
Yes. I don't know, Maria. I don't know why. Because why not? Got to do it.
Yum.
All right, now we're back into it. Let's go. So here we go. First of all, speaking, we got to send some hot sauce to.
Who?
We got to send some hot sauce to none other than Empty Set movie maven Rob Otto.
We do.
Who's going to be joining us this second Saturday of June for the classic, the timeless, the still politically poignant movie that is
well, we hope all that is true.
Gun. That is Top Gun, where they sing in a bar that A and I have sat in and sung in.
True.
It was very, very fun. But that will be June 12th at 5. This isn't helping at all, by the way.
No.
Waving air at your mouth does not help.
Would a carrot help?
Yes,
everybody's saying you should have some milk.
Well, milk's the coward's way out. It's the coward's way out. I'm not saying I haven't taken the coward's way out from time to time. If you're gonna embrace it, you're gonna win Emmys. You can't have milk. That's the rule.
All right.
That's
Well, I
why.
remember
That's
that.
why Ron Burgundy did not win another Emmy because he had milk. It was a terrible choice.
Well.
So we'll be watching it this Saturday. The Story Smacks. I'm not gonna lie, they're getting better. Don't eat that, baby.
I'm not.
Okay. The Story Smacks are getting better and better. Rob is a sharp MF. He comes in with a lot of info on movies. If you've seen the movie, you will want to watch a Story Smack. Even though this movie is some like 60 years old or something like that, there's still going to be information in it that you did not know that Rob Otto will serve up to you. And Rob Otto was part of the ad buy. You know, do you know that?
Yes,
they
I
were
did.
like we like the Story Smack. We like that Rob Otto character. Let's get that fellow paid. So there we go. So that's wonderful. Please join us. We are really we're going to have fun with it. Second Saturday of a month now. If more advertising money comes in, we'll bump it up to twice a month like it used to be. But right now we're trying to do it once a month so I can focus on getting GFL Book 7 done and focus on some of the other things. And now my nose is running. This is okay. Hold on.
Yeah. Always be blowing your nose live on camera.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
this my power plug?
No, I plugged you in.
Okay. it
You're
went
literally
off.
plugged in.
Yeah, it went off.
Did it?
Yeah, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. See if it's up now. There you go. Yeah, you got full power, babe. I don't know what happened. All right. Now let's quickly talk about books because that's what we do here. We are a book show. We have the very hot gangster episode, book 27, episode 27, and the spicy gangster episode 26 are up since we went on vacation. We also have the capsaicin-loaded Rogue One, which is described as one hot pepper of a movie. Did you know that? Gene Siskel
Nobody
said
that. Nobody
Gene
said. Gene Siskel
said
absolutely did not say
two
that.
habaneros up,
No.
and we've got that. Also, let's get you caught up on this loveliness. Mount Fitzroy, 2,322 reviews and counting. Baby, do you remember it seems like only yesterday we were trying to get to the 2,000 mark, and now we're well over that. So if you guys have read it and you haven't reviewed it, shake thine peppery keister over to the hot Audible and please leave a review for it. And now we have a problem. There's a problem in the world of Siglerism. There is a problem.
Oh, okay. Do you need more scorpion sauce?
I will in a minute.
What on earth?
It's delicious.
It isn't.
Wait, this is dairy. Cheese is dairy. What? No, that's Coward's Way Out. The rookie is at 875 reviews over an Audible. Guys, we want to get this up to 1,000. It's important to me. I don't know why, other than 1,000 is a rounder number than 875. Yes. 1,000. It's probably a prime hot number is what those are called. Very spicy number. But if you've read the review and you are an Audible customer, if you've listened to the podcast, if you've listened to it on Audible, get over there, leave a review. Let's get that bad boy up to 1,000. And I will be lecturing everyone on this very, very soon in Sigler Junkies and on the main Sigler Facebook hot page. So,
Sandra, you say you tried to review it. You can't do it. Audible is looking into it. And I got an email from somebody
that
else.
sounds interesting.
That said the same thing. So I'm reaching out on my end too to see why that might happen, and if it's a region shifting thing or something like that. Because you and the person who emailed me are both ex-US, so
Okay.
we'll figure it out. And thank you for trying to leave a review.
I hope somebody's made a porno somewhere called Sex US, which is playing off the expat concept. I'm sure they have. That's one of those things you don't need to Google. It's already been done.
So we've got Sigler-brations. I am going to read Sigler-brations while you eat some more scorpion hot sauce.
Okay.
I think.
I gotta have one more. It's three for the prize. Isn't that one for the money, two for the show, three for
to
the
get
prize?
ready and go, cat, go.
Oh,
So he needs 4. So many Sigler-brations, you guys.
I hope our advertisers are watching this misery. It's so good. It's quite delicious. Go ahead.
Our good friend and fellow podcaster, who many of you watching the show tonight know, George Schwab, had a birthday yesterday. We were born 2 weeks apart in real time, so my birthday is 2 weeks from yesterday. And we had a couple of occasions in our lives to celebrate that sort of together in June, and it was really fun. So, George, I hope you had a wonderful birthday. And if you guys don't know who George Schwab is, check out the Geologic podcast. I'm sure you'll love it. He's hysterical. He's a musician. He's intelligent. He's a little bit crazy, and I love him. We also have, Zach Worth, who's been a junkie, I think, since he was a freshman in high school, maybe, or
That's
maybe
awesome.
even younger than that.
That's awesome.
He had a birthday
Also,
yesterday.
he can burn in hell for being so young, but happy birthday.
He had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. Bring Your Own Big Wheel director Aaron Proctor. If you don't know what Bring Your Own Big Wheel is, Scott, tell him about it.
He directed me in Bring Your Own Big Wheel, which is a wonderful Wonderful video. It's out on YouTube. You can look for Bring Your Own Big Wheel Sigler. I think it'll show up, or BYOB Sigler. It's where you race big wheels down the most twisty, curvy street in San Francisco. People wear costumes. People will get not serious about it, which is ridiculous, and ride like a garbage can or a wheelbarrow, which is preposterous. This is for professional big wheel riders only, and there are a lot of injuries and a lot of people carted away. Look it up. It's great. He also did he do Ancestor? The Ancestor trailer? Is that right?
No, Adrian Picardi, didn't he?
No, Adrian Picardi did the Pandemic and the Ancestor movie.
Okay.
Aaron Proctor did do the Ancestor book trailer, and it's wonderful. And he just got married, too.
He just
He's
got
a
married.
hell of a cat.
The fantastic Robin Hudson, that you guys might know as Robin Bobbin Hudson, had a birthday yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's been a junkie forever and is, of course, the namesake of the character in Nocturnal.
Can I have the jalapeno real quick while you're doing that?
Sure.
I'm going to take one quick break. Yeah, this is...
Fellow writer Landon McLean, who several of you will have met at Siglerfest or at signings in LA for Scott's Books, had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, no, has a birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday tomorrow.
Oh, 3 weeks. George and I are 3 weeks apart. I'm bad at math, which is bad because I'm supposed to be the one that's good at math in this business. Evo Terra, which many of you know. He's a wonderful good friend of ours. He's a podcast guru. He's a spectacular human being, and he has a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Evo.
Happy birthday, bro.
Let's see. Scott's super weapon badmate and all-around awesome dude, Austin Farmer, has a birthday tomorrow. Oh, sorry, on Friday. He has a birthday on Friday. Doug Rapson, who has finally been named in the GFL, I think, right?
Yeah, he's been in there a little while.
And a very, 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 very long-term fan has a birthday this coming Friday, too.
Happy Kraken's birthday, bro.
Sherry Hare, who is in the chat room right now with you guys and here with us, has a birthday on Saturday. And this is spectacular because she requested a ring walk-up or a birthday song. Okay. I didn't think she thought it was going to be this spicy. But
who's this for again?
Sherry Hare.
Sherry Hare. Hold on, I got to come up with a nickname real quick.
Oh, Lord.
Get in here.
I'm not really sure what's happening on this cast, but...
Okay, here we go. And in this corner, with a birthday coming up very shortly, she is small, she is fuzzy, she is the Peter Cottontail of birthdays. It's Sherry, to like a jackrabbit hair.
That was indeed spicy. Oh my!
I forgot words for spicy. Now my tummy hurts.
Well,
so we got to keep going.
No, J.R. Murdoch, I did the math wrong. I was born three weeks after. I have a June 28th birthday, a little more than 3 weeks, or a little less than 3 weeks. Let's see, where are we now? I think we are done with all the birthdays. We have one more thing to celebrate, which is absolutely last, but definitely not least, Evan Diamond, who is the band leader for Evan Diamond and the Library, did not have a birthday, but she did get married.
That's right, she got married. She got married.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So, a million congratulations to you and Raina. We're so happy for you. We love you, and we hope we can see you soon. Hold
on, I got to go in real quick. I believe that I'm being screwed with, but Louis Schweitzer says that Meth Pigeon is his new band name. If that is your band name, I want that EP. I want that cut. I want that single. Meth Pigeon, fantastic. Also, if you take a look in the chat room, these are very hot coral reefs. You can tell they're spicy because they're orange and pink.
You're so shiny. Why are you so shiny? So
where are we at?
Here we are halfway through the show, which is normally the time that we talk about our advertiser. But
our advertiser is trying to kill my ass. Our advertiser hates me and is trying, now available in Canada, even though it's made in Ontario. What is this? Am I having hallucinations from the heat, or is this GIF flashing?
That GIF is flashing.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure because the walls are melting right now.
You did this to yourself for literally no reason I can think of.
I got to see what happens. That's the reason. That's the reason a lot of dudes do a lot of things. Well, I got to see what happens. And of course, you don't got to see what happens. You choose to see what happens, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Tell that to my butt in about 3 hours.
Lord sakes, do we have to talk about your butt? We already eat and drink on the cast, you guys.
I'm a little confused. Where are we at?
We are at pup dates right now.
Pup dates.
So
pup
you guys-
dates. We've got pup dates. We got a bunch of pups who went on vacation and they were super tired and we took pictures and it's awesome. Our pup dates for you. Here we go. To the pup shelf. Pup dates, ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom right corner.
We love that picture of Squeaky McGee. That's her being my executive assistant.
Yes, terrible executive assistant, unless the executive assistant's jobs are lay on the desk, fart, and give mom love any moment that she gets stressed out about anything.
Lots of kisses.
Mom be like, do we have any tape? Are we out of tape? Dog will come up, start kissing the face like, oh no, mom's upset. And of course, we have 2 dogs. It's not just one dog. Sometimes, when A is stressed out, she will lay on the couch with both of the dogs, and the dogs know exactly what to do, which apparently is stare into her eyes nonstop. If you can see the top of that picture, those are A's feet. She's got a blanket on, and there's Reese there with one ear up, paying very, very close attention to Moss's mood. Very close attention.
And Squeaky.
It's Squeaky across.
Yeah.
Well, they can't. I'm pointing at things. They can't see nothing.
So at the right by the SIGLERinPLACE that's on your screen right now, you can see Squeaky's head. This is actually a little bit of an older picture. I think this was when Squeaky was recovering from her knee surgery in 2019.
Oh, look at that. Reese looks insane right here. That's
Yeah.
that's like the 1,000-yard stare. Like she's been out in the bush for too long. She should have got circulated back to the States. It didn't happen.
And
now she's ready to kill.
Except she has, well, she's not exactly ready to kill because she does have the one ear up, one ear down, which is completely not threatening.
That's because she's show me your war face.
But I think
show me your war face. Oh, sorry.
What I think this was she, remember when Squeaky first came home from the hospital after her knee surgery? I think she smelled funny, maybe. Or she seemed funny,
You mean
or whatever.
besides the normal constant
I mean,
tooting?
to Reese.
Oh, okay.
She seemed not. I think Reese knew that was Squeaks, but something was wrong. So she actually did this for a very long time.
Yeah, she did. That's
Very,
as Maria has pointed out, that dog has seen some shit. Thank you, Lewis. I was thinking about Mookie yesterday and getting a little teared up. I do miss that was my number one dog. I miss that dog like nobody's business.
Hello, Mrs. Lundy. It's nice to see you.
Mrs.
too.
Lundy must be very upset about the quarterback
Oh
situation.
my
in Green
goodness,
Bay.
the
very,
quarter, it's
very
so
upset.
crazy.
Very
like,
upset.
Didn't Green Bay do this once before? with
They
Brett Favre?
did not only do this once before. They're friggin' 26-6 in the last 2 years under a new coach. They've been a 1 touchdown and 5 points away from the Super Bowl. They have two division titles and made the conference championship. It's crazy. Why would you be upset about that? I don't know. But here we go. Let's talk about the pup show. And these are completely out of order now, unfortunately. We have vacation pictures of our pups. This is Steven.
This is
Stephen King, my friend Stephen King, who is trying to ignore the fact that Squeaks took advantage of the rules of a new house when we hadn't defined rules and said, you know what? That's the table with the food. I'm going to go ahead and get up on a chair, which is
not allowed
frowned
at the
upon.
house, yeah.
We did stop long enough to take a picture before we instilled the discipline.
And Stephen was like, you know what? I am on to you, little one.
What we did is we got really mad at her and we made her eat some scorpion sauce. And she will never get up on a chair again.
This is the best unpaid, unplanned advertising we have literally ever done.
I don't know if they want advertising for a snotty nose.
They're going to be like, you know what? We've reconsidered.
Who is this cat?
Oh,
Who is this goddamn cat
This
sneaking into my feed?
This is Gizmo. This was Daryl and Jenna Leah's baby, Gizmo. And they had to say goodbye to their baby Gizmo last week. He was with us nearly 18 years.
Damn.
We're heartbroken. He was a gentle soul and we miss him terribly. But here he is looking dapper in his pride bandana. He does look like a stately old gentleman. And 18 years, I don't
know how old he was in this picture, but he looks like, you know what, I've been around a long goddamn time. A long time.
And all I really
I'm
want,
ready to go.
I want some fish treats and I want some pets and that's it. I had 2 cats. I had a cat named George Burns and he lived to be 21 years old. And I am devastated to this day that he's gone. He was my best friend. And I had an Abe Vigoda. And Abe Vigoda lived to be 18, like Gizmo. And I love that if I have anything, I know they lived a good life and we had a lot of time together. So I hope you have the same comfort.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Oh, no.
Taking that straight up. 'Cause I ain't no coward.
Wow.
Cowardice will come later after the show's over. Here he is, Reese. We're on vacation, and Reese had had enough of all of our bullshit. All you people do is walk me all the time. I'm getting petted all the time. I'm just going to hide. Because, you know, if you hide your head, people will leave you the F alone.
She also hasn't been around people or dogs for 16 months. And then she was, around giant dogs she didn't know and needed to get to know. And my friend Maria, who's in the chat room, Maria and Steven's dog, Fenrir, who doesn't necessarily want to get to know anyone, but also... She's crazy in love with Stephen King, who you just saw in that picture with Squeaky.
Stephen King. She loves
Absolutely her boyfriend. She will follow in a room. She will go right to him. It's the cutest thing.
We have another friend, Rebecca, who tried to murder my wife and my dogs while we were on vacation. She said, we're just going to go over this 1 mile super flat hike. Wound up being a 5 mile hike. Also not very flat. Some of our mutual friends were smart enough to be like, this chick's full of bullshit. And they tapped out after like a half mile. My wife, the trooper, said, oh, no, if you tell me it's only another mile, I'll go. It was another 3 miles. The dogs almost died. This is that same day. And then we get to, if this is the right picture, we get to this. So they bring my beautiful angel Reese piece home. She was so exhausted. She got up on that mantle there. I'm pointing again. And did not even get up. I'm like, it's time to feed the dog. I'm like, come here, Reese. And she looks up like, I've seen some shit. I've been in the deep woods, man. I can't. So I had to bring the food to her. She ate her food while she was lying down. She's never done this before in her life. That's how tired she was. I actually you can see me laughing there. I had to tip the bowl and like reshape the food so she could get at it and hold the bowl up. It was those were very, very tired dogs. Here is another super tired dog. Squeaks went on the trip
too. This is also after the same. And you can't really tell, but if you look up by my earring there, you can kind of see that I'm wearing a sling that I can carry her in. So she walked maybe a mile and a half or so, and then I carried her the rest of the way, and she's still just like absolutely over it in that photo.
I have people in the chat room asking me leading questions, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Here we go. And now we're back to that. So let's go back to Maine. Oh, we got to go back to Pup Show. That was all of it, right?
I think that was it.
That was it.
Did you? Okay.
That was it. Now
okay.
we go to the Junkies. Let's get through how are we doing on time?
Great.
Oh, we got tons of time. 22 minutes to go. Here we go.
I tried to tell you.
Here is our Junkie pictures, leading off with...
Okay, so I'm so glad, Jenny, that you're in the chat room because I will be honest. I think I'm not sure I ran this ever. I think there's so many things happened at once with so many of the embarrassing photos, and I think I should have ran this for Healthcare Day, and I don't think I did, but I don't care. I'm running it again because it's such a fabulous picture. And when you sent this in, it was for Healthcare Workers Week or Nurses Week, and this is her caption is, my coworker Jimmy and I in the office. HIPAA doesn't allow me to say much else, but 21 years as a mental health therapy aide, and I still love my job.
Yeah.
And I know your job is not necessarily always easy, and you've had actually a couple of rough times since I've met you dealing with patients. So thank you so much for all of that, and I'm so glad that even through all of that, you love your job.
And I think that is what the Huey Lewis and the News song "HIPAA to be Square" was all about.
Okay, are you having any more hot sauce?
Oh yes, there's one more piece of chicken left, and I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna finish the job. I'm gonna finish the job strong. Finish job. Who is this? Do I have this?
Yeah, you do. This is Robin Taylor.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
this is
I don't think that's in my, because I've been going through the photo. I must have missed this one. It's not
All
there.
right, Elsa, I'll make sure you have it in the tattoo repository. This is Robin Taylor. She sent it when you were you were showing some of the other ones, and she's like, this is my hatchling Max. He's on my left calf. It's original artwork by Tori Burlatek.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, remember that year they came and they had
Tori's
all
got hers up here.
They have them on the shoulder, the first time they came to Sigler Fest, the costume night, they had the Magnificent Seven. Well, at least whatever was visible.
A couple of them.
Yeah, and this is that design, and she. And then Robin had it tattooed on herself. She added at the end of this email, "Now put me in a damn book, and I hope I last longer than my cousin Todd."
All right. Okay. Well, we need to do that too. That's going to be the new rule. An actual Siglerism tattoo is going to put you in the running to have your name in a book. And I'm woefully behind. We've got probably over 100 tattoos out there now, to which I have documentation for about 7.
Well, you have a lot of the photos. You just don't know where
photos.
they. Who
I
they
was in
belong
charge
to.
of keeping track of that. So I'm at hit 7%, which is almost Hall of Fame numbers when you think about it. Let's go to the next picture.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Also, super glad that in the chat room, Tori Duke Pond is with us tonight. This is Tori at 9 years old. And I know so many of you are, like me, are lucky enough to have met her and call her a friend. And this was what she said. Here's 9-year-old me in 1994 getting my glamour shots done. 1, they're fantastic photos, and 2,
Tiara's killer.
they're wildly spectacular glamour shots. I totally, you made the right choice. The princess was the right way to go. The jean jacket grab, that was not the right way to go. You had to have the big flourish.
I've got a tiara and a dead animal about my shoulders. I am fabulous.
And then she said, these are literally one of the very few pics where I don't look exactly the same as I have for the last 15 plus years. But you do, in the face, you look a lot the same. I love it so much.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, next picture, and then this is...
This is my dear, dear friend Shannon Chavaria. She is on the closer to me on your screen there with her index finger in her mouth. And that is her daughter, Em. I think this was last year's, right? Last year's Christmas photo, doing the exact same thing. Now, if you have been lucky enough to meet Shannon and her spouse Jen and their daughter Em at a Sigler Fest or a book signing or something like that, you can tell without question that Shannon birthed Em.
Oh my God.
They look so much alike.
I thought that was both the daughter.
No, that...
When I was prepping the photos and it came out, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They got a picture of like a year old, like a 2 years old.
Shannon. And yeah. And why I was just saying that thing, that when you meet them, there is no doubt they are related and they are parent and child. What's so interesting here is obviously their mannerisms probably grow up together as well, which I love. Whoops, sorry.
It's all right.
All right, I think we might have one more.
And then I know we have one more, an awesome one, and here it is, baby.
Oh my God. You guys, you know I love my brother Jude to death. I love him. And this is in an hour.
Nothing
family.
more 90s than those flannel pajamas, bro.
Like the
So
hammer
good.
pants.
Flannel hammer pants.
This is Jude and his best friend Mo. And I love it so much when we started this embarrassing photos thing, which turned out to be not really embarrassing, but totally fantastic,
That's
wonderful
embarrassing.
photos.
It's embarrassing.
I chatted with my brother. I was like, dude, you got to send me the hammer pants picture. And we thought it was just going to go once, we were just going to have one embarrassing photos episode. But instead, it has become a whole big part of what we do now. So I think as we were starting SIGLERinPLACE on what we thought was going to be the one night that it was going to be embarrassing photos, he was like, whoops, forgot to send it in, but here you go. And I was like, oh no, MFR, we're doing this many times.
I had 3 pair of those in different plaid combos, and all 3 of them I had in college. They were literally, I had to throw them out when they just finally started to disintegrate.
Yep.
I would wear those around the frat house. I would wear them around my dorm room. I would wear them to class, and I finally throw them out when it was like there were some holes in the crotchal region.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, because sometimes you go to class hungover because there's this thing in college called beer.
Yeah. And
you realize you're wearing pants with holes in the crotch. They had to go, but I miss them all. I don't miss them as much as I miss Mookie, but I do miss my very comfortable. Very comfortable pants.
I'm so glad you pointed that out, Jude. I forgot. Right. That's a Suzanne Vega t-shirt that he's wearing.
No, it is
yes,
not.
It is. His name was Luca. Well, not Jude's name. Jude's name is Jude. But
awesome.
Of course, Robin, you are correct. This is in barracks. And what was the other? Oh, Charles Owens. I think when we were talking, I saw you say, welcome home. Thank you so much. We're glad to be back.
Sean Dyer in the chat room just asked a question, which is a silly question, but I'll answer it. How comfortable would hammer pants be as pajamas? Extraordinarily comfortable. The most comfortable pajamas you will ever wear. And I'm not saying the full-on gold lame hammer pants. Those are not a kicking around the crib
but
type
you
thing.
wonder,
but those soft hammer pants, dude, come on. Those are dope.
Would you get restless leg syndrome? Because you'd have to be. the whole time, though.
I got restless hip syndrome.
I have hammer pants and hammer hip syndrome.
Hammer syndrome. All right.
I wonder if hammer hip is a thing, like a medical thing.
I guarantee that dude has thrown out his hip at least twice. There's no way. There's no way. He was sitting around one day. He's drinking a scotch with his wife, talking about his latest entrepreneurial endeavor. And she's like, honey, it was so great when you could do that hammer dance side to side. He's like, what do you mean when I could do the hammer dance? Woman! And he stand up and do the hammer dance. And all of a sudden, oh, Lord Jesus, my hip. Oh, Lord. And then they would call an ambulance. There's no way. Every guy who can do that at some point will damage himself doing that dance when he gets too old to do that dance. Says the man who's considering getting back into jiu-jitsu, because I know it's going to be bad if I do it, but it's hard to not get into it. It's hard to not get into it. What do we got left?
Just questions.
I didn't do a question. Damn it.
But you did eat a lot of hot sauce.
I did eat a lot of hot sauce.
Eat any more scorpion
hot sauce? Well, now,
sauce?
since the hot sauce is officially eaten, I have moved on to the coup de grace. When you have eaten all of the chicken with the hot sauce, you may then have the dairy. This is not the coward's way out. This is the gentleman's acceptance of the end of the evening. Very different.
So there is so much fire in the chat room, my friend. So much fire.
What is it for?
Well, let's see. I talked about Jude wearing a Suzanne Vega t-shirt, and Maria said he lives on the second floor. Very nicely done. Also, then we're getting to Rob. Give me a minute. Maria chimes in another moment. Hajamas, which Lewis fights are also hamajamas. I also like hamajamas a lot. And then.
And Rob Otto says, Sigler wore them all the time, which is why all the girls said, can't touch this. Can't touch this.
And you guys, my brother's in the chat room. As you know, his name is Jude. He just mentioned, I mentioned earlier in the episode that my sister-in-law had a procedure surgery on Monday. She broke her hip.
Go, Lauren. Go, Lauren.
And
Go,
Jude
Lauren.
says she broke her hip because she was not legit enough.
Yes.
Very nicely done.
And she was, and they were sitting around one day, and Jude said, you remember that MC Hammer fellow? He was a very good entertainer. And Lauren said, I remember I could do all the dances. And Jude said, darling, you cannot do the MC Hammer dance at your age. And she said, what?
How
and she
dare
said, and then
you? You are you?
Oh, Lord Jesus, my hip. Oh, call an ambulance. That's exactly what went down. I'm not high. Did you ask if I'm high?
Well,
I'm a little hot.
You are definitely hot.
A little. Let's get on with the questions. Wait, I still got this. Who do we have for questions? I got questions. I don't even know who this gentleman is, but he has got questions. All right, ready? Let's do it.
Okay.
God damn it, Maria. How does Maria be this friggin' funny? She's talking about Lauren broken her hip, doing the dance. She goes, I guess she quit.
Okay. Excuse me. Kim Hansen, who I don't think is with us tonight in the chat room, but she's here often, asked if Ma and Pa Sigler ever joined the cast.
Ma was on the cast a few times in the chat room, but she was there for like probably 7 or 8 minutes, and I'm pretty sure it was like this. Where's my phone? I'm sure she was on her phone. She loves her phone. It was like this. Irvin, what? They can't. I'm talking to them. Irvin, they can't hear me. No, dude. Irvin, I said, Scott, say something, and Irvin, he's ignoring me. Oh, I don't know what to do. Let's go to Golden Corral.
Ma, if you were watching this, I did not know that was coming, and I do not think that sounds like you at all.
Irvin!
Sandy, if you're watching and gonna tell Carol, I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, I think I've got pretty good impressions.
Kim, you are here.
Pretty good impressions of my parents, and the conversations go like this. Irvin, what? Irvin, the phone isn't working. Well, I don't know what to do about the phone, Carol. I didn't make the phone. Irvin, what? Just can you help me with the phone? What would I do with the phone? He sounds a lot like Jesse Ventura sometimes. What would I do with the phone? Good.
So,
all right, let's get a question.
Well, we had a question. So to actually answer that question, we have had both Ma and Pa Sigler on the audiobook intro and outro.
Way back,
Father's Day, Mother's Day, things like that.
We did interviews with them each, a couple times.
But I think you were probably asking about this show, and I think until we can be in the same place with them, that's unlikely to happen due to technical considerations. They are reasonably tech savvy, but maybe not so much to dial into a live stream.
No, we've done a couple of Zooms with Mom and Dad. And usually the Zoom, apparently they think that everybody wants to look at their throat. That's what they like. Wait, I'm gonna do this.
Also,
my impression.
Not
This is
part
my
of, not part of this either.
Here's my impression. Here's my impression of a Zoom with my mom and dad. Here we go.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna try and do this on the fly. Performance art. Okay, so let's go to A. A, why don't you ask my mom a question?
Hi, Ma. How are you?
We're good.
Oh my God.
We're doing very well. We don't have any medical issues at the moment. How are you, honey?
I am really uncomfortable.
Well, sometimes you just have to work through these things, dear. It's just the way things go.
Kyle, you're absolutely right. He's going to be in so much trouble.
I hope Sandy's not watching because she will have already tattled on me. Of course, Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD, and Rob Otter are in the room, so I'm pretty sure I'm screwed at this point.
Ooh, Lord.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with their throats. I'm just saying I'd like to see their whole face when we have a Zoom. It'd be great. We have another, and I'm spitting at myself. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Questions.
As Mike Natazzi asked earlier in a different cast, are you still going to offer the star chart print with GFL 6? Tell us about it. So yes, the map, it's a map of the galaxy, the GFL galaxy, or the Siglerverse? Is it
Siglerverse. It's it's Milky Way galaxy done up Siglerverse style.
Yes, those are you'll get them along with the gangster. They are decoupled. They are separate things. So normally in the hardcovers, there's a 16-page color insert. There is no insert in this book because you're going to get the Star Chart Galaxy poster. They're going to ship separately because we don't want to crease the posters. And you probably will get them not at the same time as well. But yes, when we start shipping the gangster, we're going to start shipping those posters.
We're shipping them rolled, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we had talked about doing it, if you guys are old enough to remember the old National Geographic maps.
Yeah.
You get the National Geographic. That was always dope when that came in. Yes, I am a friggin' nerd. I got excited when the new National Geographic came in. Usually the star map or a map of like coral reefs or whatever is super cool. You put it out, of course, but then you got the folds in it, and nobody wants that business. So we decided, although it's a bit of a hit to the pocketbook, we're going to ship them rolled up so you guys can dig it.
Yeah.
And if you want that, go to scottsigler.com/thegangster, one word, and make sure you order before we get it in.
Yep. And then somebody had a question about whether or not we would sell them separately from the hardcovers. And the answer is it's not impossible, but we can't decide that yet because it's a limited edition. And so what we need to do is fulfill that first and then consider what we can afterwards. I would like to point out that Jen Lundy in the chat room said you are in a first, middle, and last name level of trouble. Absolutely.
I can answer Michael Grace's question in a second, but there was Scott. And the single name delivered Scott. I was like, oh, okay, spider sense is going off. Something's wrong, and I'm getting blamed for it. Which I may be deservedly blamed for, but we can't say for sure. Because my brother was a jackass when I was a kid. Scott Sigler. And that, when I heard the emphasis on the S, Mom had a lot of siblings. Scott Sigler. I was like, ooh, okay. All right, I'm going to have to be super freaking charming to get out of this one. I'm going to have to tell a joke. I'm going to do an impression of Ed Grimley. I'm going to do something. But whenever I heard Scott Carl Sigler, and she sounded like a drill sergeant, there it is, Rob. When I heard that was when all my friends, like, they'd hear Scott. They'd be like, Rob, he's so crazy, They hear Scott Sigler, like, he's going to get in trouble, whatever. And when they heard Scott Carl Sigler, Danny and Rob be like,
Yeah.
Shrink up and look away. Don't get any of that heat brought on you.
Yep.
Let's go to the chat room. Michael Grace asks, how in the heck do no-name first book authors get on the New York Times list so dang easily? Okay, first of all, there is no easy way to get on the New York Times list. It's not easy. It can be a couple of things. If it is a political book or a business book, the practice of having people buy multiple copies for political favors or attention is still very active and going on all across the board. It's not just Republicans, Democrats too. If it's a business book, these guys literally have they have these amazing cycles because they make most of their money off of the touring and speaking circuit and the consulting circuit. So you'll get 5, 10, 15 of these business book writers together, and they will all buy multiple copies of each other's book as a cost of doing business. So that, because once you've got that top 10 New York Times bestseller list, you then can go to Sun Microsystems or Microsoft or whatever, and you can get bigger dollars. So it's a business investment. New York Times has tried to do something about that. Sometimes they'll put a little sword icon or a dagger icon next to the list saying like, we think this people were gaming the system and buying a lot of multiple copies, but it's still doable. And the people who are really smart at it can find ways around it. If it is a straight up fiction book and it's a first time author showing up out of nowhere, it's usually one of two things. It is either the New York Times Sunday Book Review has done a big feature on it. And that means they're probably also getting covered in any other book review that's out there. And that is the Lord throwing down a lightning bolt from the sky saying, you are blessed. This book will be huge. Usually happens once to new authors, first-time authors, and then those authors usually kind of go away. And then the other thing is it's the YouTubers and social media and Instagram. There are a lot of young people, particularly young women, who people are like, where did this person come from? I've never heard of this person. Like, they've been banging on the YouTube channel for 10 years since they were 13. Like, they've been in the trenches every day, slugging away, putting out content, building a fan base, catering to that fan base. And then when they finally put out their first book and all of a sudden it sells, 100,000 copies in the first week, they get on the New York Times bestseller list. So sometimes when you think it's almost like everything else. Everybody you think is an overnight success has taken a decade to get to the level where you think they're an overnight success. That's my best answer. What other questions we got?
Well, I do want to touch back on you being in the worst trouble you're ever going to be in with your mom.
Okay.
Because Vaughn in the chat room says, I was in the worst trouble when mom couldn't remember my name at all. She was so mad. And when I was being mortified that I didn't want to get in trouble with Ma Sigler, I thought about my brother Jude and I, and that is absolutely true of our mother. If what you got was a ooh, that was the worst. The worst.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with you.
Emily McGregor says TikTok is absolutely driving books around. We're trying to get into that. If you guys have any ideas for what we can do on TikTok to sell books, send that to info@emptyset.com. We are old people trying to do TikTok, and I've only just begun. I will figure it out. I will do well.
Just begun.
Just begun to leave. But obviously, I will never do as well as some 13-year-old who's literally never been in a world there wasn't a TikTok. It was already there when they were born. What other questions we got, sweetie? Worst trouble ever. I want to say this. Worst trouble ever for my mom. That was bad trouble, and I felt much shame, and I spent time in the penalty box. But it was when my dad stopped yelling. That was bad news. Bad news, especially as my brother and I were very rambunctious young men. There was almost always a fight of one form or another. There were fisticuffs. There were hijinks. We both tried to perfect the Bobo Brazil jump off the top rope. No, wait, I was doing the iron. My brother put me an iron sheet camel clutch. So I perfected the Bobo Brazil headbutt. And we would jump off the dresser and drop elbows and just all kinds of super fun stuff. This is the old original WWF, way back even before Hulkamania. We were crazy. And sometimes things would get broken, and our dad would come up like, God, what are you idiots doing? Get over here. You can't jump off the dresser. You're going to break something. And there'd be a certain level of yelling, and we would be very quiet, and we'd shrink up and try and hide, look the other way. But when this happened, it's like, and you know what? I'm not going to yell at you anymore. And like, we would just be like, I think I might have pissed myself, because I was like, okay, it's now to the point where Coach is consciously trying to control himself so he doesn't murder his 8-year-old son.
Yeah.
And you could see the look, just like when he stopped yelling and talked as quiet as he could. It was terrifying. It was terrible. It was like the Jaws movie where they don't show you the shark.
Yep, for sure.
And it was terrifying. So, okay, other questions.
Maria had, which is completely unsurprising, the Queen Bee Asian mom who wore flip-flops and could wing them at you when you did something bad. You guys have heard me talk about Mom Montella, who was very close to me, and she was a teeny tiny Indian woman, and she did the same thing, and I have never made that connection before, but that's super fun too. So one more question.
All right.
Unless you guys, of course, have anything.
I'm having fun, so if you got a question, ask it.
We are, let's see, Dan Holtzclaw wants to know what you're writing after you finish this book.
After I finish GFL Book 7, we're moving on to the Crypt. I'm going to write Crypt Book 1 and 2 together, and hopefully that will be a reasonable amount of words and not be like 500,000 words for those two books. Our strategy is to write book 1 and 2, get those into the Audible store, get them on ebook. We don't think we'll be doing print, but we don't know. We got to talk about that. And then see if we can sell the whole series, book 3, 4, and 5, to a publisher who will then also, pick up whatever rights we keep from book 1 and 2. This is a pretty complicated strategy. It would have been complicated if I'd gotten my stuff done and we'd finished Crypt Book 1 and 2 5 or 6 years ago when they were supposed to be done. But this is the position we find ourselves in now. And the Crypt, I'm trying to find ways to describe it. Like, Aliens was Jaws in space, right? That was how they sold a book based on that. Alien was Jaws in space. Aliens they sold because James Cameron walked into the room, wrote the word alien on a whiteboard, and then put two signs through the S and his aliens with a big dollar sign. They were like, okay, we're good. How much money do you want? But it is military, sci-fi, metaphysical horror. So there's a lot going on. One of the biggest problems I've had in my career is not being able to tell a publisher or a movie guy in one sentence, this is the book. And they'll be like, oh, that sounds great. I'm like, it takes 2 or 3 paragraphs. And the Crypt is no exception. It's fucked up. It's going to be some messed up stuff. This is not a book. This is not a book for your 13-year-old advanced reader to read. And there's going to be trigger warnings all over the place. And it's going to be messy. And we're going to get back. I'm getting back to what kind of made me in the first place. Getting back to what I did with Infected and Ancestor and Earthcore. And I'm super excited, super pumped.
Sean asks in the chat room, is it a rewrite or is it the same stuff we know?
It's a little bit of both. Okay, so what we've got the Crypt Cruise Stories, which is about 130,000 words, not counting Passenger, not counting the tank, and not counting the Washington D.C. Well, so we're trying to figure out what to do about that. We may take those 3 things and make those individual novellas a collection, an anthology, or we may thread them in. The way this is going to work is you've got all the cruise stories. And the original, those of you who go way back in the podcast, we had all the cruise stories, and I called the book a reverse Lost. And Lost, everybody's on the island, and you gradually find out how they got to be there and where they came from, their backstory. In the Crypt, you get everybody finding out how they wind up being in the Crypt, but you don't know what the Crypt is. You don't know what the island is. So I don't think that works for a 5-book military sci-fi series. So what we're going to do is start out right out of the gate with the trial of Captain Travis XL Travis Ellis, who then becomes the captain. Spoiler. And then he's going to go to the Crypt, see the Crypt for the first time, see this top secret vessel that very few people have seen for the first time. And then almost immediately, they're going to go out on the shakedown cruise. And as soon as it's a shakedown cruise, as you meet the different characters, then there'll be chapters of flashbacks. So those original cruise stories will be rewritten, updated, threaded into the larger narrative that you guys have not seen yet, which is the first tour or first cruise of the POV James Keeling. And we got POV James Keeling's references coming out all over the place later on this year. It's going to be pretty sick. So that is the plan. So yes, there's stuff you will have seen before. It all needs to be rewritten and updated to be threaded in the larger scope of things, writing book 1 and 2 at the same time. And it's going to be a lot of crazy Starship stuff and alternate dimensions and hallucinations and murder and violence and stuff like that.
Well, you were being quite serious in talking about the plot and the pathway for the Crypt or for the books. Robbie said, so it's lost ... in space. This is pretty clever.
Robert Otto. That's all. I don't know Rob's middle names.
How do you not know Rob's middle name? You've known him your whole life.
James Goldenbean is his middle name. Robert James Goldenbean Otto. I knew this. Of course, Dr. Daniel Baker already knew that. By Goldenbean, I don't mean your junk. That was the first thing that popped into my head. It doesn't mean I'm thinking about your junk. This is not working out for me.
I think we should just say goodnight, Scott Sigler.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being on the show. We'll be back next Wednesday, but come see us Saturday because, of course, we've got second Saturday Story Smack, Scott Sigler. That's a lot of S's floating around. Join Empty Set Movie Maven and Top Gun Class of 1988. Second place finisher, Rob Otto. Finished right behind, above Maverick, but behind Iceman. He's going to be with us. Come join us. And also, hey, look, go check out our sponsor. This shit. You know what? I'm going to write some ad copy for him right now.
Apparently you're wrong. What? He's Robert Wanamaker Fairbanks Otto III.
Oh, shit. Oh! Damn it!
Okay. Hi.
Want to make a Fairbanks the third. It's hard for me to remember the high school stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to, for free, give this lovely company, I'm going to give them a new advertising slogan. Here it is. Heartbeat Hot Sauce Company. This shit be hot. That's it. That's the whole advertisement. Just put it on the internet. It'll go crazy. Sell shirts.
Hopefully we will still be advertising Heartbeat Hot Sauce come next week.
They may be like, we're very glad you had the fun with our product, but we would like to cancel the advertising contract now because you had a little bit too much fun, Scott Carl Sigler. Little bit too much fun.
Please send back whatever remains of the hot sauce we sent you.
We don't even want you to have it in your mouth. We know you put things in your mouth and it's terrible. Don't do that.
So,
oh, geez, here we go. Fade out.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you a short story since he's on fire. Hot sauce reference. So we went.
Golf clap.
We went on.
You get a golf clap.
We went on our trip last week, and right before we left, I apparently, once I got fully vaccinated, see Amy all the time. I had seen Amy, and she had a bottle of Truff hot sauce, which is truffle-infused hot sauce. I'm sure you've seen the advertising on social media. She had a bottle, and I tried it, and it was wonderful. And so I ordered a box, and it arrived, and then I got a notification saying that my hot sauce had shipped, and then another box arrived, and I called the company, and they were like, well, it's food stuff. Just share it with people. So I was like, throw it in the van. We'll share it with our friends up north. Then we get this advertiser, and Scott doesn't want to advertise a product that he hasn't tried, and that's been a policy during the entire podcast. So he has it shipped to our friend's house. He has it shipped to our friend Maria's house, tries it, edits in for Sunday's episode, edits in an advertisement, and we're off to the races. And then I brought up this group of friends that we were with, like a particular garlic hot sauce that we've shared amongst ourselves. So I bring that for my friends. So when we get to where we're going, somehow we have like 25 bottles of hot sauce and 7 people. And that's my whole story.
We did our darndest. We did our darndest to get through that hot sauce. All right, baby. Apparently the hot sauce is burned into my deeply manly voice. I don't know how the hell that happened, but here we go.
Let's see. So, obviously, we are done for this week. If you have anything that you want to share with us, if you have anything you want to share on the cast, including sponsor ideas, Samorg, if you're out there, we're going to run your sponsor next week. Thank you for the recommendation. Content ideas for this cast, photos, embarrassing photos, dog photos, junkie photos, things you want to share, any of that, send it to info@emptyset.com, info@emptyset.com.
We will be back Wednesday, June 16th, 2021, celebrating a very important moment in American history and world history. And that is the first roller coaster in the U.S. at Coney Island, New York.
Because I thought it would make an easy art.
Does that mean we get Coney dogs?
Sure.
We get Coney dogs.
Sure.
Yes. All right.
Until then, we need you. Really, we're so close to done, but there's a few new variants.
We're not close to done. We're not close to done.
Please, we want you to stay safe.
We want you to stay smart.
We want you to stay science.
And
read, listen, learn.
For the love of science, read about the variants, know what's going on. We may have temporarily lifted our head above water, but there's a giant wave of poo coming our way. So we want you to stay informed.
And maybe eat less scorpion hot sauce.
Never. Oh, no. Okay.
So we're going to do the kiss
A, B, Sigler. Yeah, that's right. How's that feel? Get all 3 of those names, make you nervous.
We missed you guys. Thank you so much for joining us back this first week. We're so excited to hang out with you.
We now give you a big old hot sauce, flaming lips kiss off into the fiery sky.